Are you, specifically you, are you better at judging breaking than you are at breaking?
I don't know anymore. I'm hazy now. It's like
you're deflecting, homie. That was
I'm not
evasive.
No, I'm not
Or
evasive.
evasive
I'll
answer.
explain it.
You're
I'll
being
explain
evasive.
it. Just because of all of the years of dancing, I think everything became a blur. And I started mashing everything together. So I started mashing the dance together as a judge, as a part of the culture, as a part of what I was doing. Now, if you would have kept me like this question maybe 5 years ago, I'd probably like I'm a better breaker than I am a judge. Yeah, so that'll answer your question. That's 5 years ago me, but right now it's all the same to me. I would say it's all a part of your journey as a dancer. So I look at it as one. I look at it as one now. There are days when, because if I look at it that way, there are days when I've gone on that dance floor, and I'm sure the two of you and you yourself can go, what the fuck is he doing today? Like, what the hell is that? And then other days, this dude is on fire. And then judging, you're like, this guy's the worst. And then other days, like, I agree with him. You know,
I agree with him.
I concur.
Whatever
you know, like,
and
it's like,
I love that.
it's like this thing where you have your good days and you have your bad days. Judging is a skill. That is something I think you do need to work on. But am I a better judge? 5 years ago, I'm a better breaker. Way better breaker than judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts, guys. Are you better at judging breaking than you are at breaking?
Rich Nice is a liar.
Rich Nice. I think Rich Nice already said. Everybody said Rich Nice. He thinks he's better at judging breaking than he is at breaking. And your explanation, I think, was really good, man. You do have to condition yourself, I believe, to be dope at judging. You can't just, think because you're a dope b-boy, you're a dope judge.
And let me also tell everyone like a secret pro tip too. Right. I've judged more jams in the last 3 years than I've entered. Right. And I've gotten to see a lot of dancers and things like this. And I also work with the Olympic, that stuff. Right. I've learned a lot. Not dancing has improved my dancing, if that makes sense. Yeah, like when I throw down now, me just observing, understanding how like some judging works, understanding like coaching. I've been doing a lot of teaching and things like that. It has changed the way I dance and my phrasing and like composition of putting sets together. Like putting sets together, if you would have told me in my 20s, like, yo, Rich, do your sets like this, I would have been like, yeah, that's cool. Anyway, I'm going to do my thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was, like, pretty much uncoachable in my 20s. And, like, having a coach is, like, a whole thing or whatever. And then also judging feedback back in the day. I'd be like, yo, why'd I lose? This, Yo, just stay in the lab. Or, like, nah, y'all just lost because they was more raw. Those are the two literally the top reasons people, like now as a judge, I can give you full feedback. I could be like, yo, your round was short, your composition didn't make sense, you were scraping on the floor, you wasn't listening to the song, blah, you didn't address your opponent, blah, blah, whatever, you know what I mean? Like I can literally kind of like phrase that. So that's something that helps me. If I dance right now and enter the battle, I acknowledge all of those things now. So it's made me a way better dancer, kind of randomly.
Do you kind of feel like it's like how you first saw breaking all over again? You're observing it now. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like when you're relearning it all over. You're relearning it all over. Like you're the kid again, and now you're just watching it. And this, because like when we were kids and we watched it, what did it do? It inspired us to actually start moving, right?
Sure.
And so now it's almost like you're a kid again watching it, and it's inspired you to move again, but move differently this time because you can see it from a different perspective because you're older now.
Yeah. Yo, to be honest with you, like. The only time I really get inspired to move now is when I'm judging. Yeah. Y'all see me when I'm judging, I'm a motherfucker.
Getting hyped. You want to jump in there,
Yeah, dog, because when we be in these ciphers, you don't know what they doing. I be looking, I be like, yeah, I'm about to get down. And I go look, and I'm like,
All right. Box. Final thoughts, homie. Are you better at judging jams or judging breaking than you are at actually breaking?
I'm gonna always say I'm better at breaking because like I got it the honest way.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a lot deeper than competition to me, right? So like my experience, what it did for me, how I value it, the pedestal that I put it on, I'm always gonna see it that way. Judging is one aspect of it, and I think that's just being able to appreciate and understand what beat what. Because it's combat at the end of the day, and you got to know which weapon was better.
Okay.
Well, yeah, Nah, but then I would be like, yeah, I could show you, but I could tell you. But then, if you like some one-on-one B-boy that's been training, you got like 7 rounds, I got like 2, and I can't show you, but you give me 4 minutes, I'm gonna come back with my breath.
This goes back to me saying when I said to Rich, do you feel you have to prove yourself? You know what I mean? A lot of you guys have already put in the work. You put in your time, and a lot of you guys had a strong run. If you decide to move towards judging or you decide to move towards coaching, why should you still have to enter any competition or still even have to get down to prove your experience, your knowledge, your wisdom with regards to breaking? I don't see, in my opinion.
I mean, it's personal. You don't have to.
That's personal. I talked about this in another interview. There's also a level of addiction, habit. You know, like going to practice 2 times a week, and that becomes a part of your routine.
What the hell else would you do?
Right, and then right. And so now you're trying to change.
How am I supposed to live?
You're trying to change your lifestyle, and you're like, does this affect anything if I start? And this is what during the break, like a release program of like, hey, this is what you do when you're ready to fall back, and this is how you can still maintain. And I don't think that that's talked about enough. People don't know what to do afterwards. Like, this becomes so much of their routine, and then all of it, it's like the dudes that get injured, and then all of a sudden their whole career has just flipped upside down, and they don't know what to do with themselves. Like, there was no let down ease. It was just like, no, you've blown your knee out, you're done. And now they're like, well, what do I do with this? And then they go through this depression. And then, anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean.
Well, final thoughts, homie. Are you better at breaking? Are you better at judging breaking than you are at breaking? Final thoughts.
You heard my answer. 5 years ago, better B-boy. Now, I think it's a part of the journey, and I think that I need to be just as good at both of them in order for me to understand the dance to its fullest potential. I mean, when I was a bad judge, that was when I was biased towards what other people were doing, and I had to step back and see, I'm voting for all the funky cats, but this dude doing power, he's really good at it, and he's he is smoking these dudes. And I can't just give it to this dude because he's moving his feet a particular way because he's sloppy and he's tripping over himself. But we can't front this. That dude is killing it. And so, and you have to step back, and that is to me that you have to understand that you have to be equally just as good as a dancer. And I'm not saying you need to have everything in your arsenal, but you need to be able to appreciate what other people are doing. So when you're dancing, you really appreciate what you're doing because you understand your uniqueness or what makes you different. So that's why I look at them equally now. Back then, I'm a better B-boy because I was like...
You B-boy.
I was the B-boy, the B-boy of all B-boys,
Okay. All right, excellent. Thank you, gentlemen.